practice with the words today. Listen well. Yesterday, everything we were doing, you get the whole equation, right? Sometimes the equation. They just ask you for a piece. They ask you for either the slope or the y-intercept. So, in a word problem, who can give me some words that would mean we're looking for slope? Each. So, each, every, per, one other main one, our word. Rate. If it talks about a rate, so if it talks about a rate, that's going to be talking about unit rate, basically, for like, each unit kind of thing. So, but the main ones, each, every, and per. Okay, you'll see those a lot in problems. If you see one of those words, especially in the question part, that means you're looking for the slope. They want you to find slope. All right, what about y-intercept? All right, so for the y-intercept, if you see initial, if you see starting, and then sometimes you see something like a one-time fee. So the y-intercept is the initial amount, starting amount, or like a one-time fee or an initial fee. But basically, if you're seeing one of these three things, a lot of times that's talking about the y-intercept, okay? It's looking for where they started off. The y-intercept's what you have at the beginning. So if we had an equation, like our equation would be y equals mx plus b. Let's say x was like days, okay? If y was the amount of money someone had as they're saving money each day, the y-intercept is the amount they start with. So that's what we're looking for with the y-intercept, is our starting amount, the initial amount, okay? Everybody good on those? All right, so here's how this is going to be different than yesterday. Albert had $120 in his saving account on the first day of the year. He deposited some money at the end of January and decided to deposit the same amount at the end of every month. Albert has $420 in his account after 3 months. How much was he saving each month? It's not asking for the equation. What's the question ask for? Slope. How do you know it's asking for slope? Each. All right, it's asking how much is he saving each month. That word each right there tells us we're looking for the slope. Okay. So we need ordered pairs. Albert had $120 in his account on the first day of the year. That first kind of is tricky there. But what it is he had $120 to start with. Everybody good with that? So if he's starting with $120, that means at month 0, he had $120. So there's one ordered pair. Everybody good with that? All right, then what other ordered pair can I get? 3 and 420. 3 months, $420. Everybody good on that ordered pair? All right, so now, how do we find slope? Rise over run, or change in y over change in x. So our y values are going from 120 to 420. X values are going from 0 to 3. 120 to 420, that's a change or an increase of 300. Yep. 0 to 3 is an increase of 3. What's 300 divided by 3? 100. So how much money is he saving each month? $100. Okay? Everybody follow? And that's it. We're done. That's the answer. That's all we got to do. Okay? On to the next one. For a special event, a restaurant charges a one-time setup fee. One-time setup fee, what part of the equation would that be? Y-intercept. If it's one-time setup fee, that's a y-intercept. And then it says plus a charge for each person. Charge for each person, what would that be? Slope. Okay? Everybody's seeing how these words kind of show up, right? So charge for each person attending an event. The charge for 5 people is $91.25. Charge for 10 people is $166.25. How much is the one-time setup fee for an event? So what are we looking for? Y-intercept. How do we know? It's asking about the one-time setup fee, right? All right, so we still need to get ordered pairs. So who can give me an ordered pair? 5 and 91.25. And then 10 and the 166.25. Okay? Now, we're looking for y-intercept, right? How do we find y-intercept? Y minus mx. But what do we have to do before we do that? Multiply. We do have to find the slope. All right, so everybody get clear on that. If it's asking for y-intercept, we still have to find the slope first. Okay? So we do change in y. So my y values are going from 91.25 to 166.25 over change in x, 5 to 10. If you're ever not sure, you just subtract the second number minus the first number, okay? So 75 divided by 5. All right, so what that is that's the charge for each person. That's not what we need, though, is it? All right, so how do we find y-intercept? Y minus mx. So I do y minus mx. What's our y value? 91.25 minus, what's my slope? 15 times, what's the x value? $25. All right, so what's the answer? 16.25 is what we get for the y-intercept. And how do we know we were looking for y-intercept? One time. Said the one-time fee, right? All right, let's have y'all try a couple then. All right, we got Juanita made $122 for 6 hours of work last week. She made $167 for 9 hours of work this week. How much does she make per hour? What are we looking for? Slope, how do we know? Per. So find the slope. Eric, what you got?
I got it. You got it. Oh. I got it.
15's correct, all right? All right, what about order pairs? Because that's the first thing we got to get right.
6, 1, 22, and 9, 67.
Hey, if the 122 came first in the problem, why'd y'all make that the y value and the 6 the x value? All right, money is usually a y value. Time is usually an x value, right? So if we got time and money, and we're looking at how much they made per hour, okay? That's another little hint you can use sometimes when they're asking about the slope. Whatever comes after per or each or every, that's the x value, okay? Because remember, the slope is mx, right? We got the m and then the x right after it. So whatever comes after the per is your x value. So that's another way you can always tell that, okay? So then we do change in y over change in x. So my y values, I'm going from 122 to 167. X value from 6 to 9. Y values are going up by 45. X values up by 3. 45 divided by 3 is 15. And we stop there because we're looking for slope. Okay? Not bad, right? Any questions on that one? All right, on to the next. All right, a veterinarian plans to put a dog on a diet plan for 10 weeks. So the dog should weigh pounds plan based on the data in the table. What is the dog's initial weight in pounds? What are we looking for? Y-intercept, how do we know? Initial. We got the initial weight, so we're looking for the y-intercept. Y'all, how many ordered pairs do we need? 2. Where can we get those? On the table, look. I would say there's one ordered pair, there's another ordered pair, right? And give you a little hint as well, I guess. What's happened to the dog's weight? Increasing. So what's that mean your slope's going to be? Negative. So make sure you're using a negative slope. So find the y-intercept. Corey, what you got? No? Correct. All right, so what are my y values? 91 and 87. So look, we're going from 91 to 87. X values are going from 2 to 4. Y'all, whichever one of these numbers goes first, the y value that goes with it has to go first also. So from 91 to 87, is that going up or down? Down. So that's down 4. 2 to 4, up 2. Negative 4 over positive 2, what's that? Negative 2. So our slope should be negative 2. Okay? Now, we do y minus mx, right? So when I do y minus mx, doesn't matter which y value I use, I'm going to use the 91. So I go 91 minus negative 2, we got to remember that negative, times my x value. So negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. So I'd have 91 minus negative 4. When we subtract with a negative, we do same change, right? So first number stays the same. We change to addition, change that to a positive, and that's how we get the 95 pounds. Also, if the dog's going to be losing weight, their weight to start with probably should be heavier than their weight was on like weeks into it, right? So we should be looking for that higher number.